When you make it to the top, it's the amenities. Backing out Toyota like a...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny Smith is here. Shaquille O'Neal. Big guy right there.
Ow.
Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks.
The crowd is coming here, and David...
Well, guys...
Well, you love that versatility, DA. Thank you. We have two teams tonight, Doris, with a lot of experience between them. What type of game, in your view, does that typically result in?
Well, typically you see a very well-played game, very few turnovers from either side, a high level of execution on both the offensive and defensive ends, and sometimes it comes down to the little things. Who wins the 50-50 balls? Who goes to the free throw line more? When you're talking about two high-caliber, experienced teams, it's the little things that make a difference.
Attention to detail. Well said. Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. They've got Smart. Whiteside is out there with Lowry Markkanen. Then it's Paul George, and it's Russell in at the 1. Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game.
You know, we always talk about what a rare talent Giannis is, and it's true. Unrivaled athleticism and versatility.
Now the Mavericks with it. Russell feeling it out a bit. Passes it to Whiteside. Poked loose and stolen by Gay. The finish and the jam by Rudy Gay.
You got to be cautious around Gay. He's phenomenal at using his wingspan there to swipe away the ball.
Pass to Smart. Back to Russell. Rose against Smart. 6 on the shot clock. Fires from 14. That shot off the mark.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Doris, you've covered the NBA and the Jazz for so long. Just how much does this team mean to its community?
Well, this is one of the great environments in the entire NBA. Jazz fans are diehard. They're loud and they're proud. And I'll tell you, as the only pro team in the state, it's no wonder.
Some nice passing here by Dallas. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Offensive rebound. Whiteside. And another shot. And it's good on the layup.
And the presence of Whiteside in the paint, really unreal. He is a dominant figure down low. Great work to grab that second chance opportunity.
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Boston. And there's a minute 45 left to play in the first quarter. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Here's George. Against Phoenix, he was really on his game.
Boy, he's so used to having a hand in his face that I think it caught him off guard to be that wide open.
Down it goes. Nice one there from Antetokounmpo.
No, Kevin, no one's ever questioned his court vision. Rose playing unselfish basketball, being the leader this team needs him to be.
Now, here is Russell. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And Markkanen throws it down.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Gay against Markkanen. No good from Gay.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
And the jam by Whiteside.
Well, you have to admire how Smart is running this offense right now. He has a knack for spotting open teammates.
Jackson kicks to Gay. 41 seconds left to play in the first. Back to Jackson. Launches a three. It's rebounded by Dallas. Whiteside's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Russell against Jackson. And that one's good. Russell.
Well, that's the ball handling skills of D'Angelo Russell on display. How crafty at finding ways to score. George against Antetokounmpo.
Pass to Jackson. Jacks up a three, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. And pronouncing Giannis Antetokounmpo's name correctly has been
the worst I've ever heard was.
And the mosquito, definitely not a good comparison for Giannis.
Yeah, more like a condor, but that last name certainly has a lot of people looking for nicknames.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
And through that first period, for me, their work on the glass has been the difference.
Well, they are pounding away on the backboards. Every time that ball goes up, they are ready to go after it.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Utah, Reggie Jackson out there with Derrick Rose. Then there's Rudy Gay. Then it's Clint Capella, and it's Antetokounmpo in at the 3 slot. Russell, no good.
An obvious blunder by the defense that they get away with. Somebody's supposed to be checking him.
Mavericks shooting 31%, not looking sharp offensively, to say the least. To the middle, here's Markkanen. The shot's good on the assist by George. Markkanen's got his second bucket of the night.
Look, you got to keep Markkanen out of the paint. He's just too big on that block and imposes his will.
I don't think any of us can forget that broken leg Paul George suffered playing for the United States national team in 2014. But what a joy, guys, to see him back and playing at an elite level. Physical basketball there, and in the best sense. A hard screen allows him to shake the defender and get to the bucket for the layup.
And Doris, you go back to the injury for Paul George. Some moments where you question whether he'd be the same player. Do you think, in your opinion, that factored into his decision to leave Indiana in search of a more competitive situation?
You know what, Kevin, I'm not sure if the injury played a part, but we know unequivocally because Paul George stated it. He wants his legacy to be about winning. And because those peak years for a star player can be fleeting, you have to appreciate the pursuit of just that.
Now, here's Whiteside. George, no good.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
And it's put back up and in by Capella.
And made only about a quarter of their shots in the first. Totally flat, but they bounced back and built a lead here with a much better second quarter.
Jackson against Russell. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. D'Angelo Russell, the lefty playmaker out of Ohio State. Doris, a lot to like about his ability to create.
Well, certainly Kevin has a nose for scoring and combines that with good vision. I think the one thing he's got to be careful of is shot selection and taking care of the basketball.
And stolen by Whiteside. Russell against Jackson. Outside, Russell. And the pass to Smart. Shot clock at 5. Over Rose. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
I think, Greg, you can't expect to win with that kind of effort. The defense was nowhere to be found, and it cost them all night long. Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
Whiteside, and that's collected by Gay. Utah leading by 3. There's the 3. With his first shot attempt, and it's Rose. This time the assist from Gay.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Smart with the ball, and Rose picks him up defensively. Whiteside, the pass to Smart. Kicks it to Markkanen. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
I'll tell you, somebody on the defensive end has got to step in and try to get a body on him there.
Jackson up top. He's guarded by Russell. Here's Antetokounmpo. Not happening that time. His second miss in 5 shots.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. 11 points for him in that last game against Boston.
You know, he was also one of their key contributors on the glass. His effort was terrific.
He's made all 3 of his free throws so far.
And he's been terrific, guys. I mean, the percentage right around 86%, so no doubt he's pleased with that.
And it's the Mavericks with the ball. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we...
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They asserted themselves nicely in the second quarter and now have a fairly comfortable 5-point lead here at halftime. And that'll about do.
Welcome back, everyone, to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's the state capital right here in Utah. Really a sight to see when you get that kind of perspective from above. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
You know, I think, Greg, they never settled for the first look. It was always about, let's get the best shot possible. Really good judgment on the offensive end.
Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Markkanen is out there with Paul George. Then there's Smart, and there's D'Angelo Russell, and it's Whiteside in at the center, filling out the middle. With college basketball expanding the three-point arc out to FIBA range, Doris, does that set the table, you think, for the NBA to move its arc, their three-point shooting line, out as well?
I think one of the things that I would like to see, Kevin, is a more unified game across countries, right? We've talked about the NBA and basketball in particular becoming a more global game. I think one thing that I'd really love to see at the lower levels of basketball in the formative stages is young players have to play with a shot clock. Because what that forces those players to do is be three-tool players. Under duress of a shot clock, you better be able to put the ball on the deck, make a pass, or take a shot. So I think the more we can normalize a set of international rules, the better basketball is going to be long-term.
Now, Smart, following the miss by Giannis Antetokounmpo from deep. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And a moment to check out now what Utah has coming up. On Friday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal. Then on Sunday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the New Orleans Pelicans. Gay outside. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Hassan Whiteside grabs the miss. Whiteside's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And the foul called on Antetokounmpo. That's his first foul. And George kicks to Russell. Dallas moving the ball around. Down low. Fades. Whiteside, no good.
Boy, what a cold start to the second half for them. Just 1 for 4 from the field so far. I think when you talk about the Dallas Mavericks, it's not hard to think about the ownership. Driven, intelligent, committed, and the team has embodied those traits.
Now here's Smart. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Just 4 to shoot. Fires from 14. And it falls over the rim and in. And even though the Mavericks had a couple of bad years in a row, this franchise remains rock solid.
Well, think about they've had consistency from the top down. It's a pioneering organization that's always looking at the next innovation. And remember, they have a very strong fan base.
Here's Jackson. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket. Launches a three. Jackson misses. Mavericks trail by 5. Outside, Smart. Lays it up off the glass. Smart's got his second bucket of the game to go.
I'll tell you have to appreciate the confidence of Marcus Smart. At point-blank range, he is an efficient scorer.
Gay scanning before. Jackson. It doesn't go for him. Nice D from Russell. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. George finds Whiteside. Russell inside. Guarded by Jackson. Shot from 12. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Russell's got 6.
Okay, D'Angelo, Russell mixing in a little interior work, not bashful.
Passes it to Jackson. Over Russell. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Rick Carlisle had some words for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Keep working the game. Possession by...
We've reached the 4th quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Utah leading. We've got Antetokounmpo, Reggie Jackson out there with Derrick Rose. Then there's Rudy Gay, and it's Capella in at the 5 spot. That's the group right now for Utah.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Well, you want to slow this man's roll right now if you're the defense because you've got to make somebody else beat you. He's cooking right now.
Here's George. Giannis Antetokounmpo making his last shot. The baseline J off the mark.
And you can see why he might be off on some of his attempts, getting far fewer shots today than he's accustomed to. Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Russell against Jackson. Russell kicks to George. Here's Whiteside. And it's Gay with the rebound. Gay's got 4 rebounds now tonight. To the paint. Here's Jackson. Nice D from Russell.
I'll tell you, they've had to look elsewhere for their scoring, and they've gotten it. This guy has had very little impact on the game offensively.
Utah leading by 5. Gay with it. He's picked up by Russell. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. We've gone about a minute and a half into the 4th quarter. Antetokounmpo against George. Outside for Jackson. Knocks down the 3 ball. And the Jazz lead by 8.
That's what you call working inside out. Drawing the defense in close, kicking it out for the open jump shot. Nice and easy.
Russell passes to Whiteside. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. That's now 8 points for Hassan Whiteside.
Boy, the assist just put on time and on target. Easy shot opportunity.
Rudy Gay on the wing. He's guarded by Markkanen. Capella finds Antetokounmpo. Shot clock at 6. Makes that one his 6th of the night. Shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
Tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
No doubt. I mean, he's doing his best to guide his team to victory. Superb job shooting the ball in this final period.
It's good, and the Jazz lead is cut down to 6 and the bucket from Russell.
Well, the more experience you get in understanding how to run pick and roll, the better you become. D'Angelo Russell improving his decision making.
Now here's Jackson. And it's sent back by Russell. And it's put back up and in by Capella. Capella's got the lead up to 8 now for Utah. Russell against Jackson. Outside Russell. Over Jackson. And that one hits back iron. Jazz leading by 8. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. He kicks it to Capella. Jackson against Russell. Capella, the pass to Rose. Back to Capella. Utah needs to get off a shot here. And stolen by Russell. Outside, George. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist.
And Kevin, you can see Paul George is locked in right now. Big-time shots demonstrate his elite level in the NBA.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. 34 seconds left in the fourth. And now they decide to foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
And the Mavericks call time here. They trail by 8. We've got 33 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And you know what? They're not ready to give up yet. They'll try to intentionally foul if they can get a quick hoop.
And now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he had.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Gay. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Antetokounmpo against George. Markkanen dishes to Whiteside. Outside Russell. There's the triple. And so it's Utah with the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the great